How would you look after your pennies if you've never used pounds and pence before?
This month, we've been celebrating Black History Month with a selection of brilliant trailblazers. And Tynah Matembe is trying to make a sense of budgeting for everyone, including people who've just moved to the UK. Jean Jansen went to meet her.
Money is on everyone's minds at the moment, but this week's history maker is on a mission to take some of that stress away by teaching others how to budget better. Tynah, like my mum, you came to Scotland from Uganda. I know that some challenges with that.
Going through that whole transition and, becoming financially vulnerable myself, and I thought, no, I need to create the resources that I would like my children and other people coming to utilize to make the most of their life.
Nicholas is one of those people Tynah has helped. He came to the UK from Uganda and joined one of Tynah's programs.
Financially, everything was a shock to me. I moved from a country which deals in shillings and I come here to a country which deals in pounds. Tynah guided us on what to do with our finances, how to start saving.
Tynah also teaches young adults about the importance of looking after their money by running workshops like this one in Edinburgh.
That's a great course for the kids because they will come across financial challenges in the future, so the sooner they learn about this stuff, the better for them.
I'm rubbish at saving, and it just makes life easier if you can budget and you know what you've got to pay and what you'll have left.
In tough times like these, it's never been more important for people to know how to look after their pennies, and Tynah's teachings make the world of difference.
Tynah has been a blessing in my life. I see a big difference in my finances and my well-being as well.
Tynah Matembe, founder and chief executive of Money MatiX, is here with us this morning. Tynah, just absolutely amazing what you're doing. I mean, we can all think of, the people that might need that kind of help and, will need guidance, but not many of us go out and do it. We might be thinking about it at home. What motivated you to go, actually, I'm going to do something about this? You could do any job, like any of us do a job, but you decided to do this.
Well, I have an entrepreneurial background. I like to laugh and say that I've been at boardroom tables all my life. And when I see a problem, it needs to be solved. And there was just no solution for this. Everyone was being boxed in, a round peg supposed to fit in a square box. And I was like, this needs to change, especially for my children. I was having children at the time. My daughter was turning 8. And I was like, no way she's going to be vulnerable just because a system does not serve her needs.
So what was the vulnerability? Was it a different cultural approach that you discovered? And tell us about that. Absolutely.
So the biggest culture difference was coming from cash. I moved from Uganda. We came here on something called a highly skilled migrant program. So for all intents and purposes, very, established and ready for a career. In fact, came into work, so we were fine for all intents and purposes. But because the system here has not accounted for you, you don't have a credit history, you don't have a credit rating. And I had grown up using cash. Suddenly, everything is credit. And you're looking like, you don't know what you're doing. And it's like, wait, hang on. I actually have some money.
And also, presumably, on the system, you almost didn't exist. You couldn't prove your worth. You couldn't prove your experience and your financial success.
You cannot prove anything when you're new to country.
Yeah.
There's also a bit of a cycle where you need the credit, you need references to be able to work. You don't have a reference or credit rating, and so you become vulnerable really quickly.
So how do you get around that then? If you are newly arrived and you don't have a credit history, how do you get around that kind of thing?
Well, at the time I came, you couldn't. You had to know. You have to know someone or have a service like Money MatiX that can show you the ropes, and then start building up that credit quite quickly where possible. You need references where possible. If you can liaise with the country you're coming from, a mainstream bank, for example.
And right now, then, and I'm sure lots of people at home will be able to benefit from this, no matter what background you're from. What do you say are the basic principles right now that people need to apply and be wary of when they're being prudent with their money?
One thing I like to say is make sure that your money is having a healthy cycle. I teach a principle where every pound that comes into your life should have a purpose, and that purpose has to be fourfold. You should be spending some because you need to live today. You should be putting some away for a rainy day, for when the boiler breaks down, for things like that. you should be investing some, and investing should not be mixed up with saving. Investing is money that's set aside to grow, to do more, to bring in more.
See, I think that's very critical because most people don't know how to save, I'm included. My approach to saving is just don't spend as much. Just don't spend as much. And then you've got a little pot. But it's a pot that doesn't, hopefully, not a very big pot sometimes, but, you know, but it isn't working for you. And that's what people who are clever with money do, don't they?
Absolutely.
How do you get into that? Because investing has a slightly scary approach for most people, doesn't it?
It is, yeah. And I think with investing, we think that it's not for us, you know. It's like, so the thing that I did when we came was ask questions. Go into the bank, go anywhere you need to go and ask the questions that you need to, and then start small, you know, put aside a bit. Every pound you have should do at least 10% of each of those things. So 10 should be, you should be giving as well. I mean, we have the poppies now out, so make sure your money is healthy, and what you don't know, there'll be something you can do to fill in that gap.
Great. Brilliant.
Wow.
Very quickly, fourth cycle. So spend it yourself, save, invest. What was the fourth?
Give.
Yeah.
That's a great
That's
one.
brilliant. I'm gonna write that somewhere. I
You
think.
haven't given to me for a while, so we'll talk later.
Oh, that's a bit awkward, isn't it?